Oh, okay. There we go. I can see that it's getting audio. We're back. We're live. Woohoo! All right, everybody. Hello. Welcome to person number one that's over on Twitch somewhere. That's really great to have you. Let me go ahead and just grab the YouTube link and send it off to folks to let them know that we're live. All right. Also got crushed by Mark's announcement that he's leaving, but I can't believe it. I mean, I can, but yeah. Mark Kruth is leaving Atlassian. I mean, Mark's been there for like 100.5 years. So I'm not surprised, but I am sad. Uh, so um, we love Mark and we're always going to be in touch with him and we will never forget him. But we are also going to keep talking about Forge. All right. Well, we'll see if anybody else shows up. Nobody seems to be showing up to my shows these days, but that's okay. We're still here. I'm still going to build things. It's near the holidays. We're going to have a good time. I'm not too worried about it. So, what should we build today? Why don't we go ahead and start by exploring the latest in Forge? So, what's going on in Forge today? What has Atlassian been up to? The fun thing for Atlassian Forge is that I can go straight to the developer changelog, which is not something that you can really do. So let's hit the developer changelog and talk about what's going on. All right. Let's see what's happening. Oh, we want to switch this. Let's do this. There we go. And let's do a little work here, give a little more space. Okie doke. Things that Atlassian's most recently announced here. Well, we've got, here we go. Atlassian is clearing up some Forge platform generated logs so that once they launch billing in January, you won't be charged for them. They will be introducing success and failure information via metrics in the near future. So that should be interesting to see what it looks like. They're going to be removing the clean history field in the content redaction API request from required to optional because the clean history field itself will be deprecated. So you're going to be using the version number instead of to specify the historical version you want to redact. We got somebody else here. Who's here? Give a shout. Say hello. Oh, let's see here. Migration update. Data center promotion codes are moving to the new billing system, not Forge related. But that's an interesting thing. Let's see. Okay, so here's. Ooh, this is a new thing here. Next one. I wish they like broke them down a little cleaner, like announcement. You just have to look for the color. All right, so they have a new API that allows you to switch workflow schemes for projects with improved performance and reliability. So you can, that's nice. So this allows you to accept mapping instructions to handle updates for issues and performs async operations. Ooh, that's really, really nice. Um, Maybe we'll play with that and do some workflow scheme migration. That is slick. Retrieve historical workflow versions. Um, that's really cool too. UI modification support for the JSM portal is now in preview. Okay, we're going to play with that today. This will let you remove items from Jira in the UI using Forge. We are absolutely going to do this. Hello, LinkedIn user. Which one of you is you? Is it Matt, maybe? It could be Matt Dorr. It's weird the way that that shows up. It only shows up as LinkedIn user. So I don't know who it is, weirdly. Um, what else we got here? The Forge LLM's EAP now supports the new stream function in the SDK. So that allows apps to process outputs as they're generated instead of waiting for the whole complete response. Hey, crazy old man. Yeah, I got to work on. I'm actually maybe we'll go over this. Is I'm working on spinning up a website for the clinic to help make it easier for folks to find things so that people don't need to search for things. All right, LLMs and EAP, of course, but you're able to work with Atlassian's own LLMs, which is really great. Crazy old man, which person are you? I'm always curious about who are the people that are on. I'm also going to do one of my new favorite things, which is like if you want to join me on stream and you're getting the chat, feel free. Um, I'll grab this link. If we get weird people in, we'll drop the link and we'll refresh the link. But come in and join if you'd like, and we can chat together. Make it a little party. I'll throw this over to Daryl too. Sean. Sean, come join. Come in and let's chat. It would be great to have you on and to chat about everything. I'll give you this to Katarina. Oh, if you click that restream, the link that I shared in the YouTube chat, if you copy it and then post it and then paste it in, it should bring up the restream ability for you to join in. And then I can just bring you right in, Sean. All right. Hey, Sean. All right. Well, as you get in in audio, I had a little bit of issues. But hey, there you go. I'll put us on the side. Make it easier as we bring people in. So, what are you up to, sir?
What am I up to?
Yeah, what you been up to?
Oh, I'm just getting ready for the holiday break.
Excellent. See, that's not the one I want to. I want to select these. There we go. That's what I want to do. There we go. Perfect. Um, yeah, I am excited about the holiday break. Um, I think it sometimes depends. Obviously, like how much break does one get can always be um, different. I was, I have a new job, so that job only gets actual federal holidays off.
Oh,
But it is a very cool opportunity. I am now working with DLA, the Defense Logistics Agency.
oh, cool.
Yeah, they brought on Jira a couple of years ago, and they needed somebody to lead their team. And so I'm working through contractors as it were. But was just chatting about some of the new things that we've got in Forge, and I think one of the coolest ones is the UI modification support now for the JSM portal to be able to start removing things from the portal or add things to the portal from a UI perspective. I really like the UI modifications module, the work that they've been doing there to give you more flexibility to make UI changes to Jira. However, I have also heard that it's a it's particularly contentious day, possibly as it relates to Forge,
Oh,
because Atlassian's introducing some new limits on invocations that
that's not really so surprising. It definitely is, annoying, but I
yeah.
kind of saw that was eventually going to happen.
Oh yeah. Well, and the person who said it was a really dramatic situation is our favorite person who says things like that, which is our good friend Remy.
Ah, yeah.
What did he say? I have to find it because it was really just amazing. Nobody can write something quite like Remy.
I don't think I saw that.
Oh, maybe
Oh,
he already. It looks like maybe he already took it down. Um, Here's the thing. That's probably that's a good learning lesson. If what's happening now is that Remy writes things and then realizes that he should take it down, that is a great thing because sometimes I need to think about what I write before I post it,
uh-huh.
and so that's always a good thing to learn. What else did we get here? So yeah, I mean Forge is going billable on January 1st.
Hmm.
Are you working with a lot of folks companies using Forge right now, Sean?
We are working with some. I wouldn't categorize it as a lot, um, but we are working with some. Uh,
Well, and as you know, I just moved back into as I'm sure you can guess, I just moved back into a data center world.
uh Yeah, I live in the data center world. Like
Yep.
the vast majority of the customers that I work with directly, not necessarily my company, but the ones that I'm interfacing with, are data center. Um, a lot of government related companies, and unlikely they'll ever go to a cloud.
Uh, you, it'll be interesting. I What I can tell you is I know that DLA wants to go to cloud.
Mhm.
It's all about getting the IL5, Atlassian getting the IL5,
Yeah, yeah.
which unfortunately at this moment could be 4 years.
Hmm. Yeah, it's not a easy process.
Yeah, I did hear that that one of the holdups for a while was just that they were looking for a sponsor.
That's one of the long poles in that process is you have to have a sponsor, and a lot of the sponsors only work at a location for 2 years, and if the process
Ah,
takes longer than 2 years, you have to span your sponsors. um, And sometimes you end up starting from scratch again because you
Oof.
lose a sponsor because they get promoted out of that position, and the new sponsor's not as keen as the original one was.
Yeah, one of the most interesting things about starting to work with the government has been seeing how, I mean, nobody's surprised that the government's doing a lot with AI. Right? It's all over the news everywhere. um, but it is interesting to see how, like, I think sometimes people forget that there's a lot of really great people working inside the government who are being really thoughtful about how we're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I said to Atlassian was like, we're going to have built everything that Rovo can do by the time you get cloud in place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And like,
I
now
agree with
you
that.
could ask us to move there and tear it all out.
Well, it keeps us busy, right?
It does. But yeah, my one wish would be that Atlassian figures out how to move faster. I mean, okay, I guess I shouldn't say I want them to move faster. That is considering how fast they've been moving. But I would like that some of this stuff with FedRAMP and stuff um, could move. That they would focus their efforts into that area more than making 45 different UI changes. That would make our lives a
I,
lot
I,
easier.
I would appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah. Um, Especially because, like, yeah, I would rather write JavaScript in Java any day. I would rather be developing on Forge than developing um, on, I don't even remember what it's called. What do they call the one that's the on-premise SDK?
Oh, I just call it the STK.
Yeah, there is some. I forget what the name
It
is.
could be an official name for it, but
Oh,
I don't.
Atlas Kit.
Oh, yeah, and well, yeah. If you read any news on Atlas, all you ever hear about that is it's going away.
It's true. It's so true. Um, yeah, they did change all the marketplace APIs recently too. That was a big thing. Um, oh yeah, and the data center promotion codes are changing.
Mm,
So how they handle those because they're moving them to the new billing system.
mm.
Um, yeah, I mean, there's so many cool things they're doing in Forge. I can do formula custom field. Here it is, points-based rate limiting,
Okay.
which has been the thing that is concerned about is the way that they're actually. It's not even. I don't think it's a cost. It's about that, like, just the rate limits could cause impacts. Um, I do think the work they're doing actually in portfolio insights, the app assessment stuff is really cool. That's something that's great for us as we work with customers who are moving to cloud. Is the work that Atlassian has put in to help you understand if all of the apps that you use are actually ready to move to cloud.
Hmm.
And they're also starting to include um, custom apps, which I think is great too.
Yeah, it is.
Um, yeah, especially, yeah, I don't love that we're running into a world where data center and cloud are so different,
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
know?
it's been coming for a while, and yeah, flopping between the two is painful. Um, well, another thing I find that's very annoying is when you're at a customer site that's using data center, and
Right.
the customer wants a specific feature that they think is going to be available because they Googled it and they found the cloud pages, and they're like, clearly I see it's available for Jira. How come you can't make it work?
I know. Like, can Atlassian put a bigger banner on the top of all of the cloud like pages that says this is for cloud only? Of course, partially as the point that I mean, I think is something really true. Customers don't know even sometimes. They have
Yeah,
no idea which one they have.
yeah.
So they just think it's whatever they have. That's a really good point.
Mhm.
Um, I do like that I mean, again, you have to be able to deploy it, but that we have the connectors for Rovo, so that you can start to use Rovo. Well, I guess you can use Rovo, like put information into Rovo, but you can't use Rovo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's very limited functionality for Rovo, and then the customer also has to have an internet connection. And
right.
a lot of these data center customers are air gapped, and they don't have connectivity to the internet.
Yeah, it is interesting. I do sometimes I did complain to somebody today. I said, listen, if AWS can have their Gov Cloud, why can't Atlassian just hurry up and move their stuff in there? I mean, I know why, but it's a whole different architecture. Because because I'm assuming, and I haven't even read. I'm sure that you have spent far more time with FedRAMP and the DoD levels, but I can only imagine how strict they get, and particular they get.
Yeah.
That's been the most interesting thing about joining, is how much I never really like the way that the government works is so interesting in the sense that like I can learn almost anything I want to know about PyPMO online, just on the internet.
Yeah.
But you're only going to learn about how it works and what it does. What you're not ever going to learn, which makes sense, is what is inside of it. But it is an interesting thing that I really can, even though like right now I'm still getting onboarded, waiting to get my CAC, all that fun stuff. I can just still go online and read about how everything works, which is actually really helpful.
It is, yeah.
So yeah, it's. I also realized that like hosting Forge Friday, first of all, hosting Forge Fridays on a Thursday, it's got to be confusing to people. I also did it for Katerina, but she can only join some of the time. And also, it's almost the holidays.
Yeah, this is a tough week to to get a big audience.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I've also really learned from watching TJL that like the audience is not really in the live. It's not the live where the audience shows up. It's in the rewatches.
Yeah.
Those sort of places.
They get more viewers after the fact. I think most live streams do. Now, do you post this to YouTube after the fact, right?
Yep, it's live on YouTube right now, and then it will stay up on YouTube afterwards.
Yeah, that's where I was watching before I jumped in.
Yeah. So yeah, what I am working on is using Lovable. I've been working on building a website for the clinic.
Oh, okay.
So that it's all like all of the sessions are there.
Resources linked to that, and
right. I can put when we work on things in the clinic, I can upload the stuff there, and people can just download them. One of the things that I want to make sure that I keep doing, especially as Alex announced, like his step back from doing, effectively a bunch of free learning, is that I want to make sure that as much stuff as possible for people. The reason I got into this was coming from the perspective of being a customer and an admin, and like being like, well, it's great that like the community exists, but sometimes I have a problem and I need to solve my problem now.
Yeah.
Or I want to talk to somebody and solve it together with them. Because if I post in the community, I have to remember to go back to the community. Like I have to remember to go and make sure that I check my email to see that there was a comment, so that I can remember to go back and see what people said. And so sometimes it's just easier to be able to work with people live. And one of my most successful things I think I ever did at Sonos was just starting weekly office hours, where people could drop in and they could join, and if they had a question, they could get it answered. And also the smart people learned that if they had a ticket in and they showed up at the office hours, oftentimes they got something done earlier.
Yeah. Give them a little more attention to the
right. Exactly. And so, I just want to offer that. I want to continue to offer that to folks. And I guess one of the benefits of working the new job is working East Coast hours.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's fun. You get to wake up a little early. Yeah.
yeah,
But you get to call it a day much earlier.
yeah, and then it
Mhm.
leaves me the time to do things like this, and it's easy enough to just um, start like sit around working on something, and if
Mhm.
people pop on, then they pop on. Which actually, speaking of, I want to show you something that I just discovered, and I actually just picked up. Let me get on LinkedIn here. Um, I think one of the funniest things that's true right now is that the Rovo browser extension doesn't work in Dia, which Atlassian, of course, now owns.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, so let me get this here. So, see if I can pull this up. Here it is. Okay, it's not the Kofi one. It's the what is that other one? What is that other place where people Gumroad? Oh, I can just go there. Okay, cool. So I found this the other day. I think this guy posted in um, the developer community,
Mm.
and he is a data center developer
Okay.
and an administrator, I think, and was run into the thing that we've all run into, which is that like generating effective like dummy or demo environments with data is more complex in data center than it needs to be.
It is. Yeah.
So he built, let me just download it here because I haven't put it on this machine yet. But he built an entire toolkit with that is a script that's written in Docker
Okay.
um, that will allow you to very quickly spin up any version of Jira and manage clusters, generate data, and perform backups with full or cross database migration support.
Mm.
It's $100.
Yeah, that's extremely reasonable.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick look here. So, and I only say that because he did. I mean, nobody. I don't think anybody's going to like screen grab this, but yeah. So let's take a look at this. And actually, let me just I'll start with this. So it comes with the CLI to install each of them, and then he's built CLIs, but then also has a full um, Docker Compose that uh, has 3 different CLI options. I think these are the Atlassian, like the different uh, CLIs that are out there,
Mm-hmm.
but it contains templates for all the different
From
for the
databases. Yeah. Yeah.
databases. Yep, and then and here's the big one. Here's all the ops that he built. The utilities demo is creating. So this is doing.
Is
I'm just
this
trying to get.
pushing records in there or work
Yep,
items? Yeah.
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing that I haven't yet gotten figured out how to do, and in cloud it's impossible. In data center, you could probably fudge it with changing the clock,
Okay. Yeah.
is being able to like simulate time movement because that's one of the hardest things.
That's what I run into problems with when I'm setting up demo environments where customers want to see sprint reports over 6 months.
Yep,
And
exactly.
I can't really fake that. Um, unless I have a long running demo that actually did do 6 months worth of sprints. Um, so it'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see if he solves that. I think you can hack the database and do it, but I'm very cautious about doing that with customers' sites.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, you probably absolutely can. The point that you make there, maybe though, actually, you may not be able to because I think I have run into this before,
Mhm.
where I wanted to be able to do that, and the problem is it's like, I guess, well, it's the database. I'm sure you can't. Oh no, but here's what it is: the way that the way that some of the dates are generated is like downstream of four other dates,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I think that's and then they keep just like they do counters,
Yeah.
and I think that's the problem that you run
You
into.
have to unravel all of those to get it to work right. And I've never gone completely down that rabbit hole.
Honestly, what I should do, what might be really fun to do, is to take this, throw it in, like run it in Docker, and also throw Claude Code in there,
Mhm.
and just say, "Hey, Claude, here's what I'm trying to solve,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and then do dangerously
What
skip
it could figure
permissions
out. Yeah.
and be like, "Can figure it out for me." Yeah, that's one of the marvels of the age that we have today, which is, and the weird part about that is it's not even like the AI agents aren't necessarily so smart, but they're smart, like they can they can run across a lot of things in a faster amount of time than you can.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, Brian, I gotta run, so I
Okay.
apologize for jumping out of your.
Oh, no problem. Daryl just joined. I'll make
Yeah,
him join.
yeah, make him jump up in here. But yeah, in the future, I'll put some time in my calendar to be able to hang out longer with you.
All right. Thanks so much. Take care, Sean.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, we're just getting a bunch of fun folks coming on, which is really the best. Um, Daryl, come join the call and we'll talk about them. Um, because it's fascinating, but um, excellent.
Ah.
Hey,
Hey, does this
so
link change every time?
I can regenerate it, so
Yeah.
it may change every time, but so this script that so I bought this thing for this guy for about $100, but he is, I think, writing these. Okay, no, so he's doing this via the API. He's not writing to the database to do this. But what does it do? I mean, all of these scripts basically spin up clusters of a Jira cluster and then automate creating data. And with any database.
That's fascinating. And he charged you $100 for them?
Yeah, that's it.
Wait, they're shell scripts
Yeah.
running a bunch of curl commands?
They're also using one of the CLIs. So you can choose the npms. Like there's three different CLIs. There's like a Node CLI. There's a
Like
yeah. There's
the I
Python CLI. I'm looking
am
here.
I'm not
Yeah,
familiar.
there's Jira npm as a module that exists.
Yeah, I'm seeing that now.
Jira
And
Pi.
then
We know the Jira one or the Python one.
just the Python API. That's a CLI?
Oh no, maybe he actually built these CLIs. This is interesting. Yeah, he built a CLI. Um, oh wow, he built a CLI for each of these things.
In shell?
No, in Python or
Uh,
Node. Yeah. So
so
he
he's
did.
not. So it's not this Jira CLI is the Jira command language written in JavaScript that runs on Node. Who owns
Maybe.
this? Made with a lot of love by Miguel, Mitch, Behe, UTI, and awesome contributors.
No, this one is Jira Node.js CLI Jira-npm. So this may be a custom one that he wrote, which is specific. Oh, it looks like it. That's specifically designed around the things
bringing
that
up
he's
sites, bringing
Yep.
up sites, and bringing. Interesting.
deploying nodes, starting clusters, creating demo data, streaming logs.
Oh, what's the? Is this a public thing he's selling? What's the
Yep.
homepage for it?
Let me give it to you right here. It's the Jira Data Center Toolkit Universal Edition.
Oh,
just
data
trying to-
center.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
Well, this is the thing that, but this is something that like spinning up data center instances is particularly painful.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
agree. Oh wait, is this on the YouTube?
well, hold on. I'm just trying to find. I'm trying to find the public link for it
Oh, okay.
because I just confirmed that like you can't use the one that's like okay, here we go. This guy's name is Artyom Alexandrovici.
Got him.
Yeah. Oh my God. Sorry, that came from Facebook. That's my fault. There's Atlassian user groups on Facebook.
So it's is this chat going out to everybody?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I see. Oh, so that's his Gumroad
that's his
store.
Gumroad. Yeah.
Are the links not clickable?
They're probably not because they're in freaking.
I got it. Yeah, I found another link to the same thing. Oh, this is the Postgres edition.
Oh yeah, so he and I talked about this. He's got a Postgres edition that only does Postgres. The $99 one, it does all. Does a Postgres, MySQL, SQL Server as well.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, and then he's also got one for Confluence too.
This is and so this like generates a bunch of fake data too. Yeah, generate demo test data. That's cool. The yeah, there used to be a Chrome extension that sadly, and it was maintained by Atlassian, and that would put fake data in there, and you could say like, make me 50 Confluence pages, make them nested. It was great, and it's it's called Atlassian Populator, but it's long abandoned. I think I was able to like you can still download the Chrome extension, but I haven't done the work of like, change all the. I think that's probably got some dependencies now that would make it.
Oh yeah. Well, but as you know, today, that's probably not that hard to do because literally we could just take it and then throw it at our good friend Claude, and say, yeah. I'm actually thinking about riffing on what this guy has done since I paid for it.
Yeah.
And I don't really want the thing that he's done, but what I would love to do is the thing that's everybody's like worst enemy, which is time-based changes. Somebody wants to see sprint reports for the last 6 months, right? From a demo perspective. But you can only have that if you have a long-running demo site.
Oh God.
And that you've been going in regularly, I guess, to do that, which I guess you could use a one Atlassian instance, and then you could just set up like an agent that's living out there. Yeah, I found it there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find it. You could set up an agent that's like running, but like what you could do with data center actually is you could spin up the data center instance.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is the part that I would have to throw Claude code at probably. Like just jack with the system clock.
Right. Yeah. That's how you'd have to do it.
Yeah,
that's a way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like a horrendous idea, but also.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, because Atlassian won't allow us to have an API endpoint that allows us to set start dates or things like that.
Yeah.
Which I understand, but also, as
Right.
I've always said, just put it behind an admin flag.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we're on Forge Fridays.
Oh,
So
right. Forge Thursday,
Friday, yeah.
Friday in Australia, maybe.
Exactly. Forge Friday in Australia, and Katarina isn't here, so I'm only going to be a little mad at her. But yeah, I now work for a company with data center.
Oh, hence the explorations of data center.
Yeah, because it's the federal government.
So what's, if you can speak on it, what's the plan?
I mean, it's DoD.
Yeah.
So the plan is I mean, honestly though, like we are doing a lot with AI and LLMs because that's what's happening these days.
Yeah.
So I mean, the goal really is to like they're doing a ton. We've got folks that are doing a ton of really cool stuff with the stuff that Amazon offers in their government cloud in terms of the agents, and then they're using that. We're using the MCP.
Right.
There's a data center MCP out there apparently.
Well, when I say what's the plan, I mean like
how are we going to get to cloud?
Yeah. What's the plan for deprecation?
I mean, I'm going to spend a lot of time saying a lot of things to Atlassian about how they need to do this sooner because I can't. There's no way that I can move in the short of the amount of time that they're currently planning to give us between when IL5 and FedRAMP High are ready.
Yep.
And and deprecation. So I'm starting that conversation tomorrow with our enterprise, with our government folks. So, but you know, it's only a 2-year-old environment.
Oh, lucky you.
I mean, yeah, they've done a lot of.
I know you can do a lot in 2 years, but still, you don't have like I have freaking 15 years of 10 years of data.
That's true. That's true. So did you see? So let's just take a look at the changelog really quick because interesting things are happening. One, Atlassian is aware of the fact that all of the Forge logs that Forge itself would generate would cost developers money come January. So they're now changing the way that things work. So they're removing those logs, which is an interesting way to solve this problem.
Wait,
but
I'm confused. How does it cost the developers? Oh, because it's taking up space on there.
Yeah, because Atlassian charges for logs after a certain number of logs. Yeah, because it costs Atlassian money. So if you run some
points thing, you already talked.
Oh no, we're gonna get there. Interestingly enough, a certain person who posted about that on LinkedIn looks to have taken it down already today.
What?
Disappointing. Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah, we know.
He should probably. I mean, he has a business to run.
Yeah, the framing was a little rough.
Yeah, but if he's learning to take things down after he posts them in Rage, that's a good step.
Yeah, I think. Did I get a screenshot? Somebody got a screenshot.
Oh, I'm sure.
my coworker. It was actually my coworker that posted that today. Oh crap!
Have you ever used these clean history, the redaction APIs?
The things that they just announced in.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, so they're removing the clean history field. And so they're adjusting so you use versions to redact things.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. I just was reading. There's a feature request. There's a feature that, of course, is for sale. Atlassian Guard Premium. I don't keep up with dev notes, but
of course
there's a bundled feature It showed up in bundled, but it's only available with purchase, which is great. And I don't even think it's available. I think it's like coming soon. But it was redaction for Jira tickets.
Oh, good. Yeah, this is probably this was for Confluence, so this would be
right.
Right.
Yeah. What?
But look at this there. This is what I'm really excited about. Switch workflow schemes via API for projects.
Couldn't you hack that before? Yeah, probably. That's good.
Could you hack it? Yes, absolutely. But yeah, this way allows you to, but it does it async, and it does progress tracking.
You know, I just saw another thing yesterday. I don't know how I found it, but there was an EAP for promotion of promotion.
Oh, yes,
Sandbox
I've seen that
thing, right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
so this is probably the API that provides that part of it.
Yeah, personally, yeah, that would make sense. This is also I mean, the thing we've all had to do before, where we're moving from one workflow to another, and you got to do all your mappings between issue statuses or work item statuses.
Yeah.
So you can also now get historical version data for workflows via the API, which I guess is interesting. Like if you're trying to keep, I guess the good part about that is like if you're trying to make sure that you have versions. But yeah, this absolutely, the historical workflow versions straight up related to that other thing that you're pointing out. Absolutely.
Yeah. When did I?
I saw it too.
Yeah, totally not planning for this, but yeah. October 28th, closed beta, now deploy Jira config changes from your sandbox to higher environment. Because what was announced on December 1st was closed beta for JSM config promotion.
Right.
And they're calling it expression of interest.
Yeah, this is called, we're doing ServiceNow work. Like this is ServiceNow's change. This is their change sets, or I forget what they call them.
Well, you could also say it's what's up, Jans? You could also say it's what the hell was the name of that product?
Salto and Revise are the two.
Well, no, Revise is the one in cloud, but for a long time on data center, it was Configuration Manager.
Config Manager also exists in cloud.
Right, but I mean, before cloud, they existed.
Yeah. And also there was also Jira Configurator, Jira Project Configurator, which was the story about those is that AppFire, basically there were two of them. AppFire owned one, Adaptivist owned the other, and I think AppFire bought the other one and then just smushed them together. Hey, Jens, how you doing?
As they do.
Pretty good.
Great. We're just talking about some of and Aaron. Oh, look, we got a party now.
What's up, dude?
Oh, this is freaking great.
This is awesome. I was like, oh man, I'm like doing some stuff, but I'm gonna jump in.
Yeah, I mean, we were just banging through some of the things that are changing here.
Oh, this is like the hot topic.
Oh, the big one is the points.
We're not on the hot topic yet, but
oh, the points, the points. Yes, that too.
That hot topic.
Yeah, that hot topic. But
I was in red, and I was gonna start commenting. I'm like, just Musa, better not.
Everybody's, as I said, everybody's favorite developer shit starter.
I seen Jensen there, and I was like, oh, like I was totally agreeing with that. Like, let's get some validations here because this is how I'm reading it. But
yeah,
where are we at right now?
It would be great to see. I mean, I wonder if I can get Chris to come on.
Chris had a few good things to say too.
I haven't seen that.
What I want to know is where it all went because it looks like it's gone now.
No, the thread's gone. It's
from LinkedIn, you mean?
Yeah,
Right.
He took it down. I've got my colleague sent me the link, and so I've got the original post, but I don't have all 29 comments as of 7:24 this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to call out when when Atlassian does something that's not great, but there were like so many questions here, and also there's like, oh, technically everybody starts on that. Well, but you omitted completely that there's another option as well. Let's hear from them first and give them the benefit of the doubt, because I'm sure they don't want to tank. Now, there's still some problems with it. Like, there's a bunch of free apps that are not eligible for that kind of tenant-specific tier, right? Like, how is that going to work if you have 30,000 installs of your free app? That's just
here's the other thing with the Forge idea, right? Like, I can build an app and deploy it to a private environment, right? And nobody else will see it. It's not the marketplace. What's going to happen to those ones? Because they want us to build solutions for customers. We're building custom solutions now. So what happens when you're rate limiting on those ones? And that's like business critical processes.
Well, yeah, but I think that's kind of partially why they do it, because they do want to rate limit those, and they get the same limit as like the other ones for global. So you basically get a global limit for that single instance, and it seems like to be actually designed around that use case almost.
Yeah. Which makes sense, because that makes perfect sense considering the number, like literally one of the number one metrics they have is increasing the number of Forge apps through empowering like internal developers at companies.
Custom Forge development.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're doing now at Trundle, and we've got some really bigger clients and deals going on with that. And it's like, we need that environment to be solid for that. So I could understand them doing that. But the other thing is like, do those limits limit how it's going to work? You know, like there has to be some plausibility of like, so at one time, like they don't really expose what the limits are, right? So like, I'll give you an example. We built an internal API. My devs built an internal API like program, and they put a loop in it, and it kind of sent some haywire stuff, and it took our cloud site down. And I know that's the type of thing they're trying to stop from happening. But what happened was it was like backlogged, even with the rate limits back then, it was backlogged like 90,000 calls back, and it was trying to get through them. So it was down for like 6 hours. And the cloud site, when you went to it, was just like standstill. Like it would load to standstill. And like we're like, oh, who did this? Like trying to investigate, you know? And like Atlassian's like, what are the headers saying? And then like I seen the headers were like really nothing. And I'm like, oh, I know who this is. So
here's the limits, right? The limits are effectively, and I think this is the easiest way to call it, which is like you are a per tenant, like you're going to be at an individual customer, you're going to be at 65,000 points an hour for a free edition. I guess the one question is, do custom customer apps always stay in the free tier?
No, I don't think so, because once you have that and you're building those, they're going to ask for, I think they're going to ask for payment. Do you meet the qualification for free? And if you don't, you're going to have to be in one of those tiers.
Well, but if
actually, the one thing that's interesting is the, I'm just reading, because originally I thought the free tier means the app free tier, but it's actually not the app free tier, it's the Atlassian edition.
I don't know. I wonder, because it says your app, for each tenant. Good call. With limits varying by the tenant edition. Yeah, that makes sense there.
Right.
Tenant with limits varying by that edition. Yep.
I actually got that wrong, because I was thinking that that's the app tier, but
so it's actually the tenant tier.
The tenant tier, yeah, but which is confusing, because like, how is it a tenant tier if it's a global pool?
Well, it's a global, so I mean, that means that for all of the tenants in the global pool, I would imagine that that's a global, so that would make sense to be tier 1, that's everything, 65,000 points an hour across all tenants, no matter what the level is. If there's consistently high usage, then you're going to get moved to the per tenant pool based on the tier of the tenant.
Yeah, I think they just need to clarify a little bit. There's I think the biggest thing is that it's just confusing to people. Like how does an app qualify for the tier 2 in the first place, and then how does that get allocated?
Right.
Because yeah,
I would think at the enterprise level, if you look at that enterprise level, like
Yep.
that has to be this. That has to be the. There has to be the. No, I wouldn't say site, the org, actually, in
Yeah.
a sense, right? Like the
Yeah, it's
enterprise
the tenant,
org,
yeah.
which applications have, the enterprise tag on it, and then you're allotted that.
Well, but it's going to
Yeah.
be it's going to be per app per tenant is how that's going to work.
Yeah, per app and then like per users, right? Like you can
Yeah,
see.
you get a base of 150,000 plus 30 times the number of users. So you have 500 users, then you get an additional 15,000 points per hour. So you'd be looking at 165,000 points per hour.
I see what this does. This validates that it's like, oh, where do you sit? Like, think about today, like you are a company coming in using ITSM, incident management, and you have a development team and such, right? Thinking about where you sit, like you can't take standard, right? You can't. Like, so that pushes you to premium. So at premium, you're going to get these extra features with the Forge side. Does that make sense? I think that's what that does.
Yeah, it means that, and part of this is to educate the customer as well, right? Like, everything in SaaS costs money for everybody. So just like on-prem, if you took your whole damn thing down to a standstill,
Yeah.
we're going to keep you from being able to doing that by putting in these rate limits. Because Atlassian is running, as everybody knows, Atlassian is running shared infrastructure for almost all of their main cloud. Unless you go dedicated cloud. And then I imagine that they're going to do something differently in there, if anything. I don't even know how. I mean, I assume dedicated cloud, which doesn't exist yet, is going to.
In that tier 1 global versus tier 2 per tenant, like what is that? Just because it's free?
For free, right? So tier 1. Here's the thing: for tier 1, for free, standard, premium, or enterprise, across all tenants, you get 65,000 points an hour. I think now, how do you get to tier 2? If in tier 1 you're if you're consistently hitting the tier 1 limits, then you're going to get moved to tier 2. And from what I read, is that Atlassian is going. Where did I see that? It was either on this page or the other one. Atlassian is basically going to move people on their own when they see, like, if you've got a consistently high level, then we're going to go ahead and bump you to tier 2, because we don't want your app to consistently be going down or to be running into this. But then when we move, and that's why tier 1 and tier 2 are both 65,000 for the free level.
Yeah, I guess that's where the anxiety comes in for the vendors, because they don't know, how do you get in tier 2? How does your app qualify for it? Like, is that happen automatically? And I think it will. Like, obviously, Atlassian doesn't want to like take down all the vendors. I need to adjust my comment, because my comment on the developer community was on the assumption that
I haven't
it's
gotten
like
back there yet. Yeah,
the free app versus like paid apps, but the free tier like is not referring to free apps. It's a bit confusing to mix the two in that chart there.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where the burst. How do you? I mean, the one thing that I also don't understand from this is, like, how does burst limiting work? So even if you remain within your hourly just burst limiting is like, you're doing a ton really fast. Okay, so we're going to hit a burst limit, but I don't think that there's.
They already have that. Like,
yes,
if you
they
look at
do.
automations for Jira, if you try to do, like, let's say you're connecting like 15,000 users in CMDB to like Atlassian IDs to like user objects, and you try to run a script to update that, well, you only get 50 runs at a time, right? And so you can only update 50 objects at a time. And then if you do that, and like, let's say you set that at like a every minute interval or whatever to keep them going, like you'll get rate limited out so that you can only do so many per day, and then you won't have any more runs till tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other part, all of this is really about Atlassian asking, and this part of this is the ask of developers to make sure that they are effectively utilizing caching and all of the other things, and and scheduling and such, to not overwhelm the system.
I agree with that. The other thing is, like, you know, they are paying for all of this infrastructure too, so they have to make sure that it's not costing them too much, right?
Right, and I do think some developers often forget, and I do understand to some. Well, here's the other. Like, I do understand that to some degree. I guess like the rate limiting, but like every SaaS product rate limits, every single one. And now your rate limits, if you're doing everything in Forge, are you going to reach your rate limits faster? Yeah, because all of your calls are inside of Forge. It's different than if you're doing a bunch of processing outside of Forge, and then you're calling into the Atlassian APIs. Because this is not just. Is this just product API rate limiting? Is this just REST limiting? Jira Cloud. Okay, so this is not. Is this? It's just Jira. So it's.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's all the Jira Cloud APIs.
Yeah.
But like,
I think I wonder if it's done by gateway.
Yeah.
Like usually they have like the API gateway, and it might just be done.
Yeah, but like because it's integrating with Jira Cloud. So if I'm calling Forge storage, that's not going to get rate limited. It's only if I'm calling to Jira Cloud.
Yes, probably. But I think the other the points proposal is related to Forge as well, right?
Right. I think that's part of the interesting question, which is like, oh, it does. The point system applies to both REST and GraphQL APIs.
Okay, well, it might not be. I wonder if it's. I guess Forge storage falls underneath that, probably.
Right.
That's likely.
Right. Yeah. REST. Yeah. Exactly. So. Yeah, it is a little. I can see where the confusion comes. It's also unfortunately very complex. That like it's a hard thing to communicate simply anyway. But what I would have done if I was Atlassian is I would have built a freaking calculator and put it on the site so people could plug things in.
I wonder, like, if the assumption is like if you're on a specific tier already, premium enterprise, that they just suspect that here's your limits already, and the biggest thing is like maybe they weren't clear enough about the global and standard, and that's the confusion where people are like up in arms. And I didn't understand it either until I'm on a call with you guys right now. Like, I didn't really get it, but I know that like the outrage that was out there is kind of scary because you're reading through the thread and you're
I think it's just anxiety.
Yeah, definitely anxiety. Like,
well, and I think the part that would have been helpful from Atlassian to do is that, like, okay, if most apps operate comfortably within the global pool, then they know how every app is operating. You should just they should have been like, hey, we know what all of you guys are operating at. We will send you an email if you're gonna get hit by this.
Yeah, I think they said like 95%. I'm sure they would make sure that it's not impacted, but they should have, instead of being an announcement like this that kind of gets lost easily in the change log, having and what do they call it? Like the request for input thing, the request for feedback.
RC, yeah.
Yeah, proposal that would have been appreciated, I think. It's a lot of noise probably around nothing, because that rate limiting is really important for everyone. But the partners obviously want to make sure that their apps continue to work, because I think there's already a number of partners impacted by Forge performance. There's like, especially if you use Confluence macros and you have a ton of them, that can slow it down. There was like somebody posting on all the support requests they're getting from customers that kind of the partner gets blamed, even though it's a platform limitation and they only have so much control over it.
Well, and that's partially, I mean, like, that is partially why Atlassian is doing this.
Yeah.
Is to limit that. And partially this is, I mean, and Atlassian has to continue to improve their platform and make sure that they have the capacity that they need. But yeah, like, it is all of those things. Oh, Daryl had to run, he said.
Yeah.
Like, it's really tricky for folks. Like, Atlassian is balancing all of that. And what would be helpful sometimes is a little bit more like something like, you all have been talking about how you're frustrated about performance for Confluence. Well, we know that we need to expand the amount of capacity or X that we have. We're working on that with Amazon and Google or whoever. Also, this will start to help. So these things are coming together because we are trying to, like, we are bringing this forward because we're trying to help you with this thing as well.
Yeah, it's like
to help point out what's benefiting them.
The thing is, like, it always seems quite easy from the outside. Like, if you're inside of Atlassian, it's actually quite complex. Like, when you say, like, hey, we need this to be more performant, there's so many things at play in order to make that happen. Like, most of the performance improvements, because the scale is just like what most people don't really appreciate or can appreciate, it's just massive. So making a performance improvement to Jira in like certain areas or Confluence in that regard just takes like months or years to implement.
And considering
massive teams.
Considering the amount of performance that Atlassian continually manages to wring out of, like all of the UI work that they've done to improve the performance of the UI.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten better. There's always more to be done, and there's like, especially in the marketplace, you do run into a lot of like edge cases, like having hundreds of macros on a page. It's a rare edge case. Most people don't have that, right? It's like 99% of sites don't have that.
Yeah, and part of that is, I mean, the thing that Atlassian did with Jira, with the guardrails, is something they probably should do with Confluence as well.
Yeah.
I remember when it took like 3 or 4 seconds for Confluence to load back in the day, and how upset developers would be. Or Jira took like 2.2 seconds, and they were counting the seconds, like they count clicks. And I remember seeing that, and now I'm like, well, it loads like milliseconds. So I'm like, are you guys counting that now? Because it's gotten a lot better. Like,
it's definitely gotten a lot better. Yeah.
I mean, my Teams doesn't load as fast as Atlassian does. So.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely gotten a lot better. You always have weird issues. I had this issue that I worked with the Jira team on. Like, not every load, but the first load on certain pages just took ages, and it was related to like an app that we actually had installed, like I think like a private app or different versions, and it took like 6-7 seconds for like a Jira page to load because of that. Eventually fixed it and it's fast, so it's great. But you don't always hit like edge cases where it took them a few weeks to find out exactly what's happening, how to fix it, because it probably was an edge case, right? Yeah, and I need to figure out the Confluence limits, because now I'm syncing like thousands of pages to Zendesk. Yes.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, let's see about Confluence. Here we go.
That was a fun side project.
So, okay, so they're running the same. They're running effectively the same limits. Okay, that's good. That was a really cool project.
I wonder if this will, like, in some ways, possibly speed things up too over time. When you have these limits set. Like,
oh yeah, the rate limiting certainly will. I think well, and people partially because people will learn. Like there will be this thing that happens where your macro, your 25th, your 65th macro you put on a page doesn't load, and the developer is going to be like, yeah, because you have 65 macros on the page. You know, and we're hitting the rate limits, and part of this is partners and admins educating users.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not really a platform issues when it's like it's just not made for it, and it's a known edge case. We had like a customer, and they're basically trying to say, hey, we want to show issues on a board across multiple projects. I say, oh, like that's not a problem. Like how many projects? Yeah, we were thinking like 100. It's like, oh, okay. Well, there will be a challenge with the UI, just selecting all the different fields and mapping and how you want to do that. So they narrowed it down to like 30, not 23 or something, or 20. And still, we'll see if they succeed with that. But that's even like stretching it very, very far.
Well, and and there is a point to some degree when you reach that point where you're like, you guys need to think about whether what you're trying to do is the best. Like you said, is this the best way to architect it internally?
Oh, yeah.
The other thing I see lately, like after doing like so many hundreds of migrations, right, is like they want to bring that old system to the new system. And you're like, no, like let's just not rebuild the old system in the new system. Let's just build the new system like out of box and then move stuff into there where it makes sense. And if it doesn't, like let's make one like catch-all field, like a custom description box that just like throws that data into like, a readable format and just leave it there. So, because eventually it goes away, but like nobody wants to do that, and they want to build all this like high architecture into it.
People hate change.
Hate change. Like, it's like you're moving away from it for a reason. So let's like not do that. And I think like if they can think simple, because simple scales, complexity doesn't. And if we can get, we can educate people to not do that, then I think things would run smoother. And that goes back to this, like, how can we make it simple, rather than complex, so that you're getting the best usage out of it, but you're not like degrading the system based on like your choices.
One of the things that I think my new year, like, what is the drumbeat that I'm going to be running around saying next year to people is I'm going to take it upon myself to become the update your apps guy. Because I know how big of a deal it is for developers that like customers just don't update their apps.
And now that you have to update them yourself again, it's not auto updating for everything. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, here's the thing. I think Atlassian, I understand why the choices have been made. Like, you do not want to provide new scopes that give access to more data without somebody looking at it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think depending on the apps, they can add something to the interface to ask people to update. Some do that very persistent, like very annoyingly, but yeah.
And I know they're working on adding something in, I think, to the admin UI to make it more clear about what's available to be updated. But part of the work is, truthfully, admins get scared. Admins get scared of moving off of a thing that they know and is stable, and the churn that it takes to update, to test for the new, like, what's going to be the change and how am I going to roll it out to my users, and is there enablement documentation, or do I have to create it every time something changes? Like, all of those things take a lot of work.
Yeah, but I think for like the apps, it's usually not user impacting, it's scopes and the user features, or if you just let the users get impacted by it, they roll out all the time.
Yeah.
Like we haven't required an app update in 2 years, but the app has changed a lot in those 2 years.
That's true. That's true. But I think it is particularly probably because of the LLMs and the a lot of the AI stuff that this is coming up now. Because that will require new scopes.
Are they going to give us our indexing button back like we had in the early
Oh my God, we don't need it.
I'm just saying, if they're giving us app updates back, are they going to give us the index back so I could full index and they
Well,
don't?
the thing is, we've always had app updates. It's just that, and even like people have always still had to update apps in cloud. It's just that a lot of partners learned to effectively declare all of the scopes possible that you could need ever, and then just update the app. But like that's bad security in many ways.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I forget who it is that always is talking about this in the developer community, but there's somebody who's like constantly banging on this. And the reality is the only way that you're going to get it to change is if you get admins to change, and that requires a really consistent education to admins. And that requires like, I mean, that's really where the Success Champions program comes in. You know, like that's what that's about. Like that's getting into the hands of admins and saying to them, like, listen, you've got, or the Atlassian Admins Alliance chapter we started, you know, which now we can do do normal things. Actually, and I actually have the code in the newsletter, the update, to pull all the app updates that have come in the last week. It's just there was a point where they were not deduping because I would get the cloud and the data center ones next to each other, or like people will release multiple ones depending on their like. There's all of these pieces that you have to clear out, but like I might actually turn that just into like something like your changelog, Jens, where it just lives and people can like where people can basically go in and say, I use these apps. Notify me when they get updated.
Yeah.
To help people with that.
Actually, I was thinking about, well, this actually for released one of the ideas initially, and we just didn't do it because there were not enough partners adopting release early on, was to create a global portal that people can opt into, where then you can subscribe for each of the apps and get all the release notes for the apps. That was like and then instead of doing that, I basically built that changelog for Atlassian instead.
Yeah. Well, this is I mean, because even if you just know that your apps are updated, like that would be great because then you can go check what the release notes are, or because Atlassian, I mean, they're always the latest version of the page that says like on the marketplace where you can go grab the release notes, so you can just use that as a static link or grab that if it changes. Yeah. I've decided that like my so I've been thinking about my own personal challenge of like having worked really closely with Alex and Rob Heen and watching all of the things that they're doing, and particularly that like I keep trying to be them sometimes, you know, like trying to but you know what, I work a full-time job that I like, and I don't particularly wish to like go anywhere else. Like do we just get another person that I should add? Oh, Daryl is back.
Yeah.
You said the magic.
You
said the magic words. Release notes.
But we were talking about, Daryl, how the issue of people admins updating their apps.
Yeah.
And part of it is it's so much work. Well, why did they kill? Did they kill it?
Well, I'm very surprised when I go to my managed apps and see upgrades, because I feel like at least for some period of time, cloud apps automatically updated, and I thought, oh, that's the beauty of cloud. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, I think what has happened is, so cloud apps only require you to approve the update when API scopes change.
That seems completely reasonable.
Right. And that question, the mechanism to prompt, not yet. Atlassian is working on it. I believe that they said in the developer community at one point, they said that. But yeah, there is this thing where Yeah, you don't. You also so what developers have mostly done is they just declare every scope they can think of that they're thinking they could ever use.
Speaking of scopes, oh my god! Now that they've introduced service accounts, which are great, they also force you to choose your scopes.
Oh yeah.
And the user interface for that is horrible. And if you don't take a screenshot of a page, you don't even know what scopes you granted to a service account. And of course, you can't go back and add scopes after the fact.
Yeah, that's just like the API, the new API scopes.
Oh man, dude, it's so frustrating. I actually have the command line curl to like create a service account, and I was about ready to like hack together a script that would like pick and choose from a Google sheet or an Excel sheet, which is a better interface than like 400 checkboxes. And then it's like, and then make it into a curl command. That's nasty. For automatic updates, if changes do not require manual customer approval, they're automatically deployed to all customer instances within a few minutes. And then if they do require manual approval, every 24 hours, everybody's instance polls and shows there's an update available. But I guess the question is, why would it approve? Why would it? A minor version does not require manual approval.
I think it's just the API.
No, a micro version does not require manual approval. A major or minor requires manual approvals.
What makes something a minor, though?
Yeah.
They automatically. There's a definition. If you Google, what the hell did I Google? Atlassian Cloud apps automatically update, and it's the first link.
Okay.
All right, I'll drop the link in the chat. But yeah, there's a very specific thing that says if the API is updated, that's a major update. If the scopes increase, then that's minor. Or if you go from free to paid, and then anything that doesn't include those is micro.
Well, like if the API is updated. So if you like use different APIs, then it's a major.
That's what it says.
Oh.
When you
So here's this.
That wasn't. I have to read. That wasn't the case in Connect. I'm pretty sure because
right. Yeah, that would make sense.
So that's why when in the Connect era, I never had to upgrade an app.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Here you go. Listening free to page. Your listening involves additional scopes. Well, this is your upgrade forage apps. Okay, let's see here. I see. Right, because there's the right. Okay. It's so hard to tell when they do these. Like, put this stuff on the two different pages. Like for the Forge CLI, they upgrade. So here, they do not require. It says here that minor versions don't require manual approval for Forge.
Yeah. And then if you scroll down in the next paragraph in the
this is for Connect.
Oh,
major, minor, micro. Yeah. That's what I thought.
So Forge they simplified to major and minor.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, so when you specify increase or change scopes, this is one of the reasons why developers get really frustrated when Atlassian introduces new APIs.
Sure.
To enable new features, because it's automatically going to be a thing that's going to change the scope to some degree.
Yeah.
All right, I got another call to jump to.
Okay.
Right.
Good seeing you all.
All right, take care. You too.
Do we ping that in our Forge development folder on our browser now, so that we can go back to that?
Yeah, we should, but like we should. I mean, listen, team, the three of us could vibe code something together. To pull all them to build basically a portal where people can go subscribe to the the apps that they use. And actually,
God.
I've actually been thinking about this. We don't need to do that. Well, maybe we do, because I don't think we still don't have any surfaces where I can't. Can I get apps from an API yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. Let me see if they're official endpoints.
They're official, are they?
Huh?
Are they jQuery?
Yeah. So I have, let's see, this is an API endpoint, connected apps. There's a connected apps endpoint.
Okay.
That's
probably it. Yeah.
It kind of looks real. I actually am not sure if any of these are publicly posted.
Let's see here.
A lot of the endpoints are exactly the same as data center.
Okay, then they're probably not.
Yeah.
Let's see. It would be under cloud admin.
Yeah, cloud
And
admin.
it would be no, there's nothing there right now. Well, I mean, let's look at the reference. REST APIs.
Yeah, basically it's all the UPM manager stuff. It still works, but it's not. Yeah, here, I got a link.
Okay. All right. So we are going to, so we would either, okay. So the way that we would do that is that we would use Forge Remote, and we'd make all of our other calls outside of Forge.
Right. Yeah. These would have to be external calls. It's nasty. It's super nasty.
Right. But the other way to do this is to help. Yeah, we could publish a thing that's like, this is how you get your own list.
Yes.
And then we could give people a way to upload it.
Ugh. God.
Which I don't love, but like
yeah, I actually experimented with hitting some endpoints I found. There's a billing preview endpoint, the connected apps. There's all, I mean, I'll paste mine in, and you just have to replace your org. I think you replace your org. I'll put in org.
There's a well, what's interesting is that you can, it's really interesting because you can theoretically, like, I don't understand how they're doing some of these, which I guess, you have to, well, yeah. This is too. Forge and OAuth 2 apps cannot access this REST resource. That's fine. Again, it lives outside, right?
Yeah, just like the admin APIs, right? Like Forge can't have those. They gotta be in outside.
Yeah, the last two endpoints I shared in private chat are straight out of the admin interface. And then this one actually might be accessible, even though it's not documented. It might be accessible because it's through the path includes REST.
Gotcha.
It's REST/plugin/1.0.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also an install log.
Yeah, what I was looking at is that, like, what I was wondering is, like, can I get licenses? Get a list of licenses for the specified vendor's apps. What is really interesting here is, according to this,
well, what auth are you supposed to use with the marketplace apps?
It's just basic auth.
No, I think you have to use token.
Yeah.
For marketplace, no.
It's basic with a token.
Yeah, basic with a token, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's your user account. But that's
User,
not.
Oh, but you know what? I forgot. They just introduced the V3 APIs.
Yeah.
In which now everything is held in a developer space, and that developer ID.
Oh, you're right. It says this allows you to manage your apps in your developer account. This is not for customers.
No, that's only for Dev Council.
Right, but okay, so in marketplace, oh, that's right. But this is but no, marketplace developer space is now okay, right. App listing.
You'd have to have you'd have to know that developer ID
Exactly.
to be able to use it on your own, because you'd have to know the other ones to grab it.
Oh yeah, which like the endpoints I gave will give you all the IDs. I poked around at it, but
Oh no, so I can still do it in V3. I'm looking here. So this is this still V3? Yeah, V3 marketplace reporting. I can get cloud get licenses.
yeah.
So I can get all of the I mean, okay, but right, you need the developer ID for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No, this is not for customers. This is for vendors, developers.
Right. So the thing about V2 used to be,
Yeah.
well, with V2 that may have been the same actually too. Let me just look in reporting.
Oh, you
I
can
think you
get
probably still
license
need it.
types. You can get license types.
Yeah. Oh, you needed the vendor ID, but I think the vendor ID might have been in
That was
the
right. The vendor ID is in the connect
portal.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but because you can get all the apps, but I get it. You can't. I can't get.
Wait, are you trying to get the license? I'm looking at V2 and I see license types and I see get license type. But when I pull the first link, all it is talking about like, this is a commercial license, this is a GPL license. It's not like the
yeah, it'll let you
tier or whatever.
Yeah, if it's a promo or if it's paid, right?
Yeah, when you say license type, what do you mean, Brian?
Well, so okay, so you can get apps. There is a marketplace API because I use it.
Yeah.
That gives me all of the applications in the marketplace.
Oh yeah. It's this link.
But does it give you all of the
App listing. Here we go. Get marketplace app listing. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh no, that's that one. No, it's not that one.
No, it's the one I just sent. If you click on that, you'll see it. Click on the last link I sent. Yeah, there you go.
Yep, I got you there.
Yeah, that's all the apps.
And
then you can delve through and get like specifics about per apps.
Right, and I use that by like I also like I track all of the app versions.
Yeah.
I used to grab the release dates.
Yeah, I did this a long time ago in Google Sheets.
Right, and so then what I want to be able to do is like take. So then basically, because I'm already capturing all of this currently it's a key value store.
Yeah.
Then just give people the ability to select which apps they use, and then they'll get notified when things update.
Sure. Yes.
Like to email or something else, just so like they have a way to actually get it more in front of them.
In your copious free time as a public service.
Yes, absolutely. But also for me, because I work for
Yes.
It's helpful to know when my data center apps get updated.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I actually was contracting at Google at the time and got them to let me open source the hacky code I wrote that basically went to this endpoint or the old version of this endpoint, matched it up against your instances, REST, whatever the REST call is for all of your installed apps, and then did the lookup of like what's the current version, or maybe it was like to get the cost or something like that. I don't even remember.
Yeah, that's the thing that exactly. And the thing that we would do in this case is just like you could give the trick is we could build that tool. I mean, Daryl, we know where this belongs, which is the thing that we keep putting off, but now that I have a regular job with a regular time and I'm off by 2 p.m. in the afternoon because I work East Coast time.
Yeah.
Our open source work.
Atlassian plugin audit tool. is. But yeah, it was pretty janky.
Yeah, well, this can go in a thing that we can build and put in our new open source organization.
Oh, I think I wrote it in Perl.
Oh, you and John Syracusa.
Oh, let me see. That'd be so funny if I could find it. Oh, I must have written it somewhere. There it is. Atlassian add-ons audit sheet.
Oh, wow. 61 now. Oh, Jens came back. Maybe he came and wrote another one now. A new comment. Okay, cool. Yeah. Are they letting you open source anything over there, Daryl? Or sorry, Aaron?
Open source?
Yeah, will they let you open source anything at Trundle that you work on, or like components and things?
I think a few of us have done a few things. Like one of my buddies has wrote some like open source npm packages and MGS packages and different things like that.
Yeah, so it's on the list of all these things. Like one of the things that we've been working on getting an open source like organization. I don't know. Organization is probably too much words to give to it, but like a place where everybody like that is like curated by people who know Atlassian products.
Yeah,
and like includes like one of the things that Ian would love to do is like have a Forge stack.
Yeah. I mean,
public.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like Atlassian. Every time Katarina does a thing, they put all the code up in a repo somewhere that I can never find again.
Honestly, we can just fork it.
Right. And so that is like a great start because it's like this code was created by Atlassian. It technically should work except when they don't update it.
Oh yeah, the one guy has done awesome Forge.
Isn't there a couple people that have been doing that in GitHub? Like I've seen a few things in GitHub.
Yeah.
Andrei Pisklinov has done awesome Forge, which is where he's just collecting a bunch of resources for Forge here. So it contains a bunch of the official examples and this stuff. None of this is community. Like this is a developer community and that stuff, but like it's not community members open sourcing stuff. And one of the problems I think we have is that for a long time, Atlassian, the only people doing development in Atlassian products were people making money off of it.
Right.
Oh, somebody did Forge Starter here. This is Andre's Forge Starter. Yeah, TypeScript, React, Vite. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get him to bring his stuff in.
Did you guys ever see that one open source?
Oh, hi, Katarina.
Did you guys ever see the open source for Jira PowerShell?
Yes.
I used to live in that. That's at atlassianps.org.
Oh,
wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty
cool.
So
that one's pretty cool. I used to use it all the time. And then what I was using it for was like most of the time, like people want to run reports, and I was pretty good back then in PowerShell. Like didn't have to really think too much. So I was like, oh, just grab these commands, and I would just start doing all my reporting from admin console via that. And so that was really nice.
Well, but yeah, I wonder, is this as old as it really is actually? No, they just haven't updated their posts, I think. Because if I go hit Confluence PS, oh no, it hasn't been updated since 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's probably been a minute. But they had it going for a while. Like it was pretty strong for like 2 or 3 years.
Well, I guess this is the other thing we could fork and update it pretty easily. Like there's probably just a lot of stuff that we could go grab around the internet, fork and update it.
Yeah.
I would, yeah, like if they had like a Jira PS and maybe like do like a Python.
Yeah, they have a Jira PS right now.
Yeah, like the Jira PS, and then add that with like the Python, and then maybe something else, and put them into one kind of repo of like knowledge, or at least a link of knowledge.
Yeah, well, yeah, this one is that old too. Like they just dropped it off, so they don't have any of the new API stuff. But
my baby's dancing to Gummy Bear, so.
But we could like, this is one of those things that you could really effectively throw Claude at.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and then develop a bunch of tests against it.
I use that to like gather that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good to do, especially now with the Forge MCP server.
Yes.
You know, combine that with the PowerShell MCP server and go to town.
And I just want to MPC everything, MCP everything.
I got to tell you, those skills, man, skills are cooler.
Yeah.
Skills and skills and plugins. Skills are basically markdown files, but they can also be code. But like,
oh no, you were asking me about that in the channel, in our private channel the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, let me see. And I'm like, okay, so I kind of like gave you a weird answer that was fast. So I have those MD files that I use in reference in Claude Code to it.
Uh-huh.
I remember, so I'll throw those MD files like at it, but I don't have those MD files in like the web version. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the way that you can do that is you can put those in the .claude/skills folder inside of your GitHub project.
Oh,
like inside of your project. Yeah.
Oh, so the .claude, just throw those inside the
inside of a skills folder. Yeah. I mean, depending on which ones you're using, but yeah. And then the new thing is
skills. So where's the skills? Is only at the web level?
No, skills you can use either place.
Oh, okay.
So agent skills, right? You can use agent skills. So basically, they're packaged. So what you do is they're effectively it's an MD file that explains how the skill works, and gives Claude instructions and gives concrete examples, and then you can add additional documentation and examples. But then you can also build utilities with it, so you can write scripts that Claude will use. But the cool thing is that Claude can do this with they have a skill for making skills.
Oh.
So you can say to it like, hey, go look at the work that I've done recently.
Can you do that with the anthropic.com version when you're using the API versions, like in our app too then?
In the agent, no, this is all Claude code.
That's all Claude code?
But what you could do is if you're working, I mean, you can use the Claude Code SDK.
Oh, the SDK, yeah.
Okay. And use API keys with that, yeah. And the difference is that skills are model invoked. So Claude autonomously decides when to use them based on your request and the skills description.
Yeah, so I was working in next.js. You know Next, right? Do you guys know Next? Yeah, so that's the framework around React and whatnot. So like I've been learning that, and so I've been making MD files that exclusively say, hey, this is like the architecture that I want and how I work. Now I got to go put that into there and add that into the file in the skills, because I didn't know that. Like I have some of those MD files on the side. I didn't ingest them to the .claude. So I must have been missing out, because I keep referencing those. I thought you had to reference those. I didn't know that you could just move them into the .claude file.
Yeah, and Anthropic has a detailed, like, by the way, first of all, if you don't read Simon Willison's weblog, you should.
Simon Willison,
he's like the best person to read when it comes to like AI and LLMs and stuff.
I gotta come in here.
He's incredible. He has a great explanation of the difference between skills and
Oh, that's what I do need then, because I'm really trying to like make sure that like we are developing in a specific framework and specific style and architecture. And like if you're making multiple apps, that's really important because you want them to follow the same patterns, right? And so not having that is kind of, so making that a skill is probably really detrimental. So like if you're coding, but you're using Vibe to like move faster, and then you're able to check that, like self-check it before you need to check it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the guardrails are up ahead.
Yep. Basically, here's what they say. So this is what he says. So one of the, so the limitations of MCP, one is token usage, right?
Yeah.
And the context. But the other part is that, like, he says almost everything I might achieve with an MCP can be handled by a CLI tool instead. LLMs know how to call CLI-tool, whatever that is, space, -- help, which means you don't have to spend many tokens describing how to use them. The model can figure it out later when it needs to.
Right.
Skills have exactly the same advantage, only now I don't even need to implement a new CLI tool. I can drop a markdown file in describing how to do a task instead, adding extra scripts only if they'll help make things more reliable or efficient.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Right, so you can just write a markdown file explaining to it how to do things. And then the cool thing about skills is you can write a skill.md, and that's the top file. But then you can say reference this .md file when you're doing this, right? And give a little description. And then the details go into that, so it's progressive disclosure.
Is there a hierarchy there then? Like you have to put that into like the .claude, but then that skills is at top, and then
there's a skills folder, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, and then there's a folder inside for the each skill.
The person you were referencing saying everything I can do with an MCP, I can do with the CLI tool.
Yeah.
Who is
Simon Willison.
Yeah. I kind of feel like every time I hear about, or every time somebody asks me for the access to the Atlassian MCP server, it kind of drives me crazy because it's like, yeah, why don't you just use the API?
Well, and here's the thing I just realized is that we could very easily write an API, a forge skill.
Yeah, there's an unofficial MCP, Atlassian MCP, that is basically a wrapper.
Yes, I've used it.
Whoa!
Wait, hold on. Wait, the unofficial Atlassian MCP. What do you mean? Like, but I'm talking about skills, which are better than MCPs.
Yeah, I haven't dealt enough with skills, but if they're tangentially related to MCPs, the whole idea of like I'm like nebulously saying update this Jira field to do this, and you're just kind of taking shots in the dark. I had a thing like update this Confluence page and add this column, and because there was like HTML or there was some weird formatting in the column, it screwed the crap out of my Confluence table.
So the secret about skills is that you can do a description in a markdown file, that sort of explains, but then you can provide examples.
Yeah.
And then you can also provide scripts if you want the tool to use them.
Could you just point it at the API documentation?
No, because then you're going to run into, if you just point it at the API documentation, you're now eating the entire context.
Eating I'm sorry?
The token context.
Ugh.
It's now this is what skills do, is if you take that documentation and then you break it down into markdown files effectively.
Yeah.
And then some example scripts,
Yeah.
Now what you can do is that Claude can autonomously decide when to use them, and based on their descriptions, and progressively load the things that it needs, instead of sucking up your entire context.
Yeah. I guess like, right. So that makes sense. Yeah, a thing I did recently, which was write a script to automatically create a Confluence export and then download that file. I wrote out every endpoint I could find, and like copied and pasted it into this text document. Wrote a little bit of text around it saying, okay, here's how you got to get the space key. Here's how you need to get the org ID. Here's how you need to get this thing. And then I just pointed Copilot at the text file and said, here, make a script from this. And so there was like actual curl commands in there. There were, I think, copy and pastes from like the API documentation. So it wasn't the whole thing, but it was like a super short text file. And it was like the world's shittiest blueprint or the shittiest design document for a
Here we go. Here's what we need. Skill seekers. This is Convert. This is an automated tool that converts oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna run this. What it does is it transforms documentation websites, GitHub repositories, and PDF files into production-ready Claude skills.
Okay.
So it scrapes the sources, analyzes the code,
so it's kind of doing that.
So it's taking from the documentation and then turning it into.
I feel like, vibe coding, like you could do vibe coding, but do a little bit of work, like fucking Google a little bit, or like look in the developer panel and see what it does in the UI, and then copy and paste from there. Because this sort of like expectation that you can just give it nebulous stuff and like it magically does it just feels way too.
Well, that's true. I should point out that what's happening with things like this is somebody has done all of the work.
Yeah.
To move away from the it's no different than using any other
I can say that like in my experience so far, that like it will make mistakes and like sometimes it will like call a variable that you don't want it to call in one space. Like it'll write it one way, but then in another folder it will write it differently. You always have to make sure that like it's following format.
Yeah, I mean the fact that it's not deterministic drives me crazy because it's like, well, why did you use it this time, but then this time you didn't? And it's like, like, dude, it's a config file. The config file should be the same every freaking time, but you decided to like word it separate or like use different variable names. And it's like, I'm only talking to Atlassian things, so it should always be username, token, host.
Well, all of them do this. I mean, unless see, this is the thing with a skill, you can give it the example of how it should always be done.
Right. I'm writing an Atlassian Python script thing, so follow my standards for doing it.
Well, you don't even have to tell it that now. What you would be able to do is just have that skill in there, and because you gave it examples. I get it. These 5 scripts all are Atlassian scripts, so follow the same style for config files, use the same calls. I just feel like sort of more generally, that it's not repeatable, right? That like you give it something one day and you're going to get different results, and then the next day you're going to get different results, and that's so very, very different from how computers have always worked. But here's the thing: if you ask a developer to do something 3 different days, the same developer, you're going to get something different each time too.
Sure. So don't think of it as a computer. Think of it as a person.
Yeah. Well, but don't think of it as a person, but think of it like, I mean, this is the problem, right? Like it is more like a goldfish.
Yeah.
Than a person.
Yeah.
But it is less like a computer than a goldfish.
Yeah.
Which is and honestly, the other reality is that actually, generally LLMs could be like, you can get LLMs to be almost perfectly deterministic. But then they're kind of boring. Like, part of the reason that the LLMs that we have are so not deterministic is because they don't do as well with more complex tasks if they don't have some level of variability, or what is called temperature, in the model.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to make it an MD file. It could be a YAML file too.
Yeah, you can use a bunch of different. Yeah, it's.
Hey, I got a jet, but
Well, yeah,
good
it's about
chatting,
time to
guys.
go anyway. Yeah, this has
All
been
right.
great, guys. Thanks so much.
Take it easy.
We'll do it again soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
See you.
We will see.